the people who defended Mike Israetel's PhD had at least one good point, and that's when they said to Solomon Nelson, "Oh, what a loser. Why are you going back to review someone's homework?" Right? But here's the thing. They're admitting that the PhD is just someone's homework. It's not real science. The thing is, that's definitely true, but it's also true of so much of the science that's published in journals. Scientists are just getting published for the sake of getting published to do their homework. We have one good example of someone who wasn't doing that, and that's Arthur Jones. He went out and did some science and some experiment because he actually wanted to understand things. Consequently, he didn't get published in journals because he didn't give a shit. So yes, this is absolutely a matter of interpretation, but I interpret that to say, no, Arthur Jones had integrity and just wanted to do science. Now, we do have a few examples of some scientists who I don't think were connected to Arthur Jones, who did do studies on high-intensity training using his machine. They found incredible results. They did it on the erector spinae, the lower back muscles, or the spine muscles. And they were published in Spine, the journal Spine. Now, obviously, people are going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, he's not credible because he wasn't published in journals. I say no. I've talked to people or emailed to people who knew Arthur Jones, who said that he would have scientists coming to him and doing the same stuff Greg is saying happened to him, where they come to you and say, oh, if you give me money, I can confirm everything you say. He didn't trust them at all. And fair enough. Given we have to rely on interpretations, tell me what you think of this interpretation. Because if there are any sports scientists who actually are even aware of these studies that were done on the erector spinae, they're going to say, oh yeah, that only applies to the erector spinae. Don't you think that's rather coincidental that the one muscle that we've tested it on is also the one muscle that low frequency works on? Hang on a minute. How do we know that if that's the only thing we've tested it on? Right? That's just an assumption, and it's an assumption that they refuse to test. Why do they refuse to test this within the scientific literature? Well, because the studies they're doing is just them doing their homework to prove what a good boy they are, and that would be rather rebellious, wouldn't it, for them to actually question anything? That's not going to get you good marks, trust me.